Your psychiatrist, does he beat around the bush? What's he prescribing you? Lexapro, Xanax, it barely lets you function, but you can at least manage a dose to dull the panic. But now you never smile. The kids can't get you to play, so they feel like they're on trial. What's up, everybody? I'm Skullz, and today we're listening to Samson, A Quick Word. I haven't heard a lot of Samson. I know he's blowing up recently. I've only heard the one song, 46 equals 13. The dude was saying a lot of shit I agree with in there. I know he's anti-Biden, which I really don't know how that makes him different from anybody else at this point. If you disagree with me or don't believe me, just go look at his approval ratings. The numbers don't lie. But either way, I saw that he dropped this the other day. Thought it would be an interesting reaction to do. I'm sure I'll have a lot to say about what he's saying in this, if he is talking politics. If he's not talking politics, cool. I was told that Fauci is mentioned in this one, so I'm guessing it's going to be political. But let's see what he has to say, and hopefully YouTube doesn't ban me. But first, if you're new here, consider hitting the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Helps the channel grow, helps the video reach more people, and I appreciate it a lot. And without further ado, let's have a quick word.
Every night before I go to sleep, I speak to the man that rules above. He helps get me through these trying times. He guides my way and gets me through the mud. As a mortal man, I put my life in your hands, cause I know you'll do everything to steer me straight. And because of that, a lot of people tell me that I'm wrong and they act like they're right, but it's clear they ain't. They smear your name, but I fear your reign. Some folks don't know how much you sacrificed, and when judgment day comes, they're gonna be sorry, cause they're all gonna have to pay a massive price. But I won't, cause I live for you. No matter how many of my peers doubt me, every breath I take and every step I make is in your name. That'll never change. Dear Fauci, Easter is coming up. Do you think that I could spend it with my loved ones? Maybe open up the window, let the wind blow. Maybe circulate the air, mix it up some. No, I was kidding too. It's just a little joke, I would never disapprove. I already put the chair 6 feet apart and cut a little hole in my mask big enough to get my spoon through. Yup, yes my lord. Vaccine cards are gonna get checked at the door. I don't care if my brother, my father, my mother doesn't have it. If they don't, they can go next door. They're not welcome at my table. I don't care if you've already had it. There ain't nothing you can tell me. This is fatal. I ain't buying into the junk that Trump sold you chumps. Fuck your narrative. I'm not gonna help you with your fable. I'm trying to keep my health stable. They don't even have their booster shots. They're my family and I love them to death, but they're gonna kill me if I let them in. Should I do it or not? And my friend keeps trying to convince me that he's fine cause he's been vaccinated, but it isn't the same. He only got 2 shots. That was 6 months ago. You gotta get 3. Now the definition has changed. He better stop bitching cause he might need 4.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, these mandates are like, hey, you have to get the pokey if you want to work. But what I'm seeing is that a lot of these mandates don't require you to get the boosters. So it's like, well, what is it? I mean, if the whole overall narrative is that you need to get the boosters and all this stuff, then why aren't we acting like it? It seems like a lot of companies are just basically like, well, if we can tell everyone that all our employees got the pokey, then we can cover our ass and look like, oh, we're looking out for you. I'm sorry. They're not looking out for you. They don't care about you. They care about their reputation. That's it. And another thing too that really made me laugh about this whole situation was that I wasn't for this shot back when Trump was in office. I was like, they made this thing too damn quick. Emergency authorized. And I was like, I'm good. And most people didn't want it because Trump's name was attached to it. And then Trump leaves. And then Biden attaches his name to it. And then people wanted it? The politics are too tangled in the science. And let's be frank. None of you are scientists. I'm not a scientist. You don't know the science. What we do know are people's rights. And everyone should have the right to choose what they do with their body. If they want it, get it. That's fine. If they don't want it, that's fine too. You know nothing about other people's health. You know nothing about the science. You know nothing about the injection. And if you're petrified about all this going on, that sounds like a you problem. Maybe you should inform yourself and do what you can for your family. My big no-no, do not sell out other people's freedoms. When has the government ever given freedoms back? But honestly, in terms of Fauci, I don't really know what's been going on lately with him. All I know is that I stopped listening to him forever ago. When someone says that I am science, that is the statement of an egomaniac. Anyone who knows even a little bit about science would know that science is never about absolute truths. It is about being less wrong over time. Not that it's never about absolute truths, but it is rarely about absolute truths. All it's about is about asking questions and following evidence. And if Fauci is science, all the evidence that I'm following points to him being full of shit.
That was 6 months ago, you gotta get free, now the definition has changed. He better stop bitching, cause he might need 4. Maybe every quarter of the year there might be more. Why would you ask questions at a time like this? I mean, I could loot a Nike store. Always talking about natural immunity, vitamin C and capsules of glutamine, water and exercise, going to the gym and eating healthy, zinc and potassium, ooh-wee. He probably loves Joe Rogan, and that's why his views are inapt. I mean, fucking immune systems? How stupid is that? When have we ever relied on those? Yeah, exactly, I don't know. What, before 2020? Don't be a dummy, you know that was such a long time ago. This is more than the flu, misfortune and doom. This is apples and oranges, a fork and a spoon. Just two different things that you can't even compare. And if you wanna go there, you're a moron if you do. Idiot, probably doesn't watch the news. He probably does his own research, he's a doctor too. Thinks critically, informs an opinion to the best of his advantage. I mean, I can't even talk to you. Have you not seen the SNL skits? Rest in hell. Piece of shit, don't even go there. I know you've heard the songs with Stephen Colbert. I know you've seen all of those vaccine musicals on the late night shows. How could you not? And if you don't believe those, I don't think that's what Fauci would want. Huh? Nah, fuck the AIDS pandemic.
For real, sorry, I paused at the perfect time. Look at his face. Sorry, Samson, didn't mean to do that to you. Let me help him out. There we go. That's better. But yeah, the propaganda has become ridiculous. All these late night shows, the news, all of it, it's just become so biased. Also with what he was talking about with your immune system, that's what I've been saying from the beginning. Like, bro, why don't we actually talk about enhancing our immune systems and taking better care of ourselves, eating more healthy foods? I mean, the whole reason behind that is kind of obvious to me, and it's that they want you to depend on them. I mean, that's what the government's been doing for a long time, fostering codependency. And they do this by creating more problems and then telling you that they'll save you from them. I just really believe that we need to stop with this whole mindset that the government's going to solve our problems for us, and we actually need to form groups and do it ourselves. I'm not saying it's up to one person or it's all on you. What I'm saying is that if we communicate with each other and build networks, maybe we would realize that we can take on all that responsibility. And shit, man, maybe it would feel good. Maybe it would feel good to be a part of a community again.
I know you've seen all of those vaccine musicals on the late night shows. How could you not? And if you don't believe those, I don't think that's what Fauci would want. Huh? Nah, fuck the AIDS pandemic. That was way back in the 80s, man, forget it. I don't care that you got everything wrong back then too. This is like way damn different. I'm willing to give you a second chance and a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Man, I don't like to get into the technical shit. Just tell me how many more injections to get. Gain of function. That's just Republicans saying some dumb shit. I don't count that, fuck it. It's not about how many mistakes you make. It's when you make a mistake and how you bounce back from it. And you're real fucking good at that. There's so many things that have come to light. You could probably do something horrible like kill a dog and nobody would even... Oh, right. I don't mind if you butchered beagles. You can murder my...
Well played, well played. I remember hearing very little about that story too on the news, or at least not as much on certain news stations. I bet most of you can guess which ones. But see, that's kind of the hard thing nowadays with news and misinformation, is that a lot of these major news outlets can hide behind things that they choose not to report on. You know, it's sort of like the gun debate. I mean, it's a lot easier to measure how many people were killed by guns rather than measure how many people were saved by guns. Because saved by guns doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, there was a hostage situation and the SWAT team shot the guy aiming the gun at the hostage. You could also look at it as how many crimes were deterred by someone knowing, oh, this person has a gun in their house or a gun in their business. I mean, you can't really measure that. I mean, it's a cheap trick to get people to believe what you want.
I don't mind if you butchered beagles. You can murder my grandma. I wouldn't look at it as evil, as long as one of them doesn't do it with their careless actions. Maskless, ruthless people. It's like folks don't believe in you anymore. All the faith and the trust is gone. I don't care that you put hounds 6 feet deep in the ground. I always root for the underdog. Alright, I'm done fucking around. Insanity is doing the same thing again and again and then expecting a different result. That's not the exact definition of the word. It was Einstein's, but it makes sense, so it holds. Look, if I was your fitness coach and I was giving you routines to get to your goals, but you kept getting fatter and you weren't getting thinner, would you keep paying for me to assist you? No. Or better yet, what if I was your physician and you came to me with a sickness and I'm supposed to fix it, and I gave you a bunch of prescriptions and they didn't work over the course of 2 years? Would you find someone different? I think there's a good chance you would, and if you wouldn't, guess what? It's your choice. And that's the good thing about living in America, at least until now, you had a voice. This has been a pain in the ass for everybody. It's really been a bitch from the start. But how many times you gotta get fucked before you realize they don't have your best interests at heart?
Yup. I mean, All facts. I'm glad he's putting out stuff like this. And maybe it will actually get people to think a little bit harder about things. Because the news doesn't. It just wants to spin things the way it wants to spin things. But hey, like he said, if you want to get the pokey, go ahead and get it. I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to think differently of you. I'm going to assume that you made the right choice for you and your family. But if you're the type of person that wants to sell out other people's rights to make yourself feel better, you're entitled. I mean, you think that the world should mold to however you feel. And that is toxic as hell. But all right, guys, that's where I'm going to end the video. Remember, love one another and screw the government. They don't care about you. And if you're new here, consider hitting the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Helps the channel grow, helps the video reach more people, and I appreciate it a lot. And wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and as always, I look forward to the next one. Peace.